Good morning, everybody. Hope everybody's doing good. You know, my thought today is to learn how to choose. Learn how to choose. Oftentimes, we are in situations in our life where we're choosing what we think is best for us, and then we later only find out is not good for us at all. And so, when the scripture says, you know, I've set before you life and death, blessings and curses, uh, choose life, right? And so God tells us what to choose because I don't really think we really know how to choose, you know, ultimately. So we have to learn how to choose better. And so as you grow, as you grow up, you know, from a kid, you choose based on your wants, your immediate desires. But as you get an adult, you no longer choose based on those values. You have a different set of values, right? So you are learning how to choose differently and better for your life. And so when we learn how to choose better for our life, then you know that's when we constantly or will consistently see growth in our life. And so the oftentimes is when you say, you know, well, what do you mean I don't know how to choose? Well, you know, life experiences and backgrounds have taught us how to choose, and not always those experiences or backgrounds or ways we grew up are the best pattern for our future. They just taught us how to choose in those moments, in those circumstances, in those situations. And so oftentimes when someone is drama driven, right, they often will find themselves gravitating towards drama because they choose drama every time over situations that are you know, peaceful or calm or whatever else, because their circumstances in life have taught them that the way you get what you want is to have drama, to create drama, to create functions that you know you shouldn't be, you know, so you blow up or you explode, right? Because you throw temper tantrums because this is the way you choose. You've been taught to choose. I'm reminded of a scripture where Mary and Martha was serving people in their house, right? And Mary was sitting at the feet of Jesus. So Martha comes and says to Jesus, like, hey, you know, get her to come in here and help me. I've been doing this work all day and so forth. And he says to her, she's chosen the best thing, the better part, right? She's chosen what's best. And so, Martha, you need to choose what's best. Well, you know, here it is, and you think about it, you know, Martha and her family was not anyone that was high on a Nobel list or celebrity, you know, Jerusalem celebrity list or any of those things. Martha was average, everyday people, and now because Jesus is sitting in their house, they now have all of these people coming. But she made a choice to look good by serving everybody. Now that's not a bad thing to do, right? But it's not what's best. And so when we understand that I need to learn how to choose, it's out of the framework from which I'm choosing it from. What am I choosing? How am I choosing? It's the framework from which I choose from, right? So Martha chose from a servant framework. I need to serve everybody. I need to do all of that. Now, Mary chose out of a servant framework, but she just chose who to serve. That was different from how Martha chose who to serve, right? So then now we can have these frameworks from which we choose from. So some of us choose from a framework that's out of pain. So when we choose from a framework that's out of pain, then every choice we make is based on pain, based on the pain that we experience. And so, case in point, I've heard people say, you know, matter of fact, this one guy literally said to me once, I'm never going to date a light-skinned woman again. And I was like, why? Like, because when I was dating this person, she did me wrong, and she was light-skinned and blah, 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 right? And I'm like, well, that's odd to say, because now you're going to make the rest of your life choices, right, based off of this pain from one person. And so then now every choice you make now is that you can find the next person who could have been the one for you, but because of a skin tone, you're not going to make that choice. You're going to choose, you're going to say, no, that's not for me because of what somebody else did to me. And so oftentimes we are like that, right? We're making choices off of our framework, and that framework is shaped oftentimes through experiences, through pains, through sufferings, and so forth. I've heard people say they go through a bad breakup. Oh, I'm never going to be hurt again. I'm never going to allow myself to be hurt again. So then now, here it is. They close up, and so now every decision is based on the fact that I'm going to stay closed. I'm not going to let anybody in. I'm not going to give anybody opportunity to hurt me. Well, the thing of it is, if you don't give anybody the opportunity to hurt you, then you never know who to open up to or who not to open up to. So now you when you meet the right person, you're so closed that you can't make, you're not making a choice for what's best for you. This is why in that same text in Deuteronomy, later in the chapter, it says, he says, God is life. So earlier he says choose life. Then later on he says God is life, right? So if God is life, then now we have to make our decisions, our choices based off the framework of who God is in our life and what God is doing in our life and how he's moving us and how he's shaping us and molding us. Because here's the thing, a lot of your experiences are shaping you and molding you. A lot of your pain is what shaped you and molded you. Your conditioning from how you grew up shaped you and molded you. And so you're making choices and decisions based on those things, but not based on the framework of who God is. This is why Mary she chose the best, right? Because she chose to sit at the feet of Jesus, who can shape and mold the framework for her life. And when we start to, I don't want to diminish your pain. I don't want to diminish, what you've gone through in life. I've had experiences. I've had pains in my life. Some pain I've caused on myself. Some pain other people have brought to me. But nonetheless, I've had to realize I got to get to a place and sit at the feet of Jesus. I got to get to a place where I not allow my life choices to have the framework based on my pain and my suffering, but based on my future and my destiny. And only God can give me that framework. Only God can give you that framework. And so when you realize that, to do that, a lot of times we make financial decisions, right? We take careers and jobs based on the money, not based on call, not based on purpose, not based on what we're built for. We do it because it's paying us. It's paying us well. And nothing's wrong with financial security, but oftentimes, how many times people have gotten to the midpoint of their life or even before then and just say, you know what, I'm walking away from six figures, walking away from millions of dollar deals to go to a place of purpose and call and destiny. Why? Because they realize I made choices that finances drove my decisions, not God. Pain drove my decisions, not God. Emotions and drama has driven my decisions, not God. And so to learn how to choose better for yourself, to learn how to get out of this rut of continuous failure and continuous disappointment to oneself, is that you have to get to a place where you ultimately say, I want to learn how to choose what's best for me. And the only way you're going to learn how to choose what's best for you is to take the time to get with God and say, help me build a framework for my choices for the rest of my life. Help me build a framework for the choices that I need to make in order to grow and do what I need to be in this life.